from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
In a world where you can find out where nearly anyone is at an instant, why is it not that easy for dispatchers to find you when you call 911 centers sometimes? Thanks for joining us tonight. Mike has the evening off. Last year, 80% of calls taken at Minnesota dispatch centers came from a cell phone. But as Valley News team's Macy Enger found out, this helpful device is causing some hang-ups for dispatchers and trouble for people in trouble.
Talk, text, or table it. Many of us can't leave home without it. Our cell phones. Do you have a cell phone? Yeah.
I have a cell phone. My husband has a cell phone. Kids don't have cell phones yet.
Something the Red River Dispatch Center has seen firsthand.
We get many more people calling on their cell phones than we ever used to. Landlines are almost near non-existent anymore.
That's the problem. Landlines give dispatchers your location immediately. But
with many people having cell phones, that's probably how you would call for an emergency. But something you may not know, dispatchers don't actually get your address when you call. There are ways that they can get your address off your cell phone, but it can be hard to determine where you're at if you're in places like a brick building. That's why it's important to know the address of where you're at, or at least some landmarks that you can see, that you can tell dispatchers.
The faster we know where you're at, the faster we can get help to people.
The FCC recently required all cell phone companies to improve location information. When we reached out to AT&T, the phone carrier said in a statement that the company works closely with the government to meet or exceed 911 regulations and improve the accuracy of calls.
Really just dependent upon where they're at and how their cell phone is working and sending the signals to the towers, and there's nothing really more than that we can do. I mean, there's always changing technology, so you just never know.
A piece of information to put in your pocket if you ever have to call 911. Macy Enger, Valley News Live.
Dispatchers say parents should tell their kids a few specific things if you ever have to call 911. The two pieces of information kids should have: your address and your phone number. It's a great idea to write it all down for them as well and let them know where to look if they can't remember. Valley News Live is your home for all Bison coverage, and our all-star team has officially landed in Seattle, covering all angles of the NDSU men's basketball team's run to the big dance. Tonight, the Bison are getting some shots in at the Key Arena in Seattle. It's the eye of the NCAA tournament, where they will take on Gonzaga tomorrow night. Valley News teams Nicole Johnson and sports director Beth Houle landed in Seattle this afternoon and are letting us in on the action. Joining us right now live from Seattle is Nicole. Nicole, what's it like out there?
Steph, good evening out here from Seattle. The city is beautiful. Now, we've only been here about an hour and a half, so we haven't seen much outside of the Key Arena. But right behind me now is the Space Needle, which is pretty cool and historic. So tonight, after we're out here, we haven't done much, just hung out at practice. But we're going to head downtown and talk to some locals, talk to some fans, talk to people and see what's going on. And tomorrow, you're going to want to tune in at 5, 5:30, 6, and 10. We're going to be live. We're going to bring you some stories of fans, stuff going on. I know a lot of restaurants around here are inviting people for the NCAA tournament. And then, you know, if you want to join us more, you can follow Beth and Mai's journey on Twitter or on Facebook. If you just follow our hashtag, it's going to be Bison on VNL. So that's where you'll catch all the action. Tomorrow the game starts at 8:50, and Beth will bring you all of that coming up more in sports tonight. Reporting from Seattle, Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
All right, Nicole, thanks. Looks like the fun is well underway. Stay tuned, like she said, as Beth is going to be joining us live in sports to talk about how the team is preparing for their big game. A single father is now without the means to take care of his children after he says he was taken advantage of by a local car dealer. This man's blowing the whistle tonight on Catalyst Motors, formerly known as AA Affordable Auto. James Morissette claims the dealership towed his truck after a dispute with the title of a previous vehicle purchased there. Now Morissette is warning others about this business.
You might get taken down there. That's all I can say, is go to somebody that's licensed, respectable. You might have better luck.
The Better Business Bureau has an F rating for Catalyst Motors, and there's nearly a dozen unresolved complaints against the dealership on the BBB website. Valley News Live tried reaching out to the owner of Catalyst Motors today. They were unavailable for comment, though. Well, if you ever need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, and we'll do our very best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576. Leave your tip with us, and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth for you. Were you a victim of the 2013 Target data breach? If so, there's some good news for you. Target says it will pay out $10 million to victims to settle that class action lawsuit. Each victim could be eligible for up to $10,000. Chris Herpasky tells more.
A federal court ruling today means victims of a massive Target data breach will soon be able to file their claims.
They ultimately agreed to it, but it was by no means easy.
Attorney Vincent Asades is the man tasked with representing an estimated 100 million people affected by the breach.
Based on the information we had and based on what we were seeing, we were hoping this amount of money would deliver a good amount of money to the people that suffered actual losses.
According to attorneys, victims can begin submitting claims around April 30th on a website to be announced later. But who's exactly considered a victim? Well, if your card, like 40 million others, was compromised in the data breach, that's not enough. In order to be considered a victim in this class action lawsuit, you have to be able to prove one of these requirements, which you've been tweeting out all day today. First of all, do you have any unauthorized or unreimbursed charges on your credit or debit card because of the data breach? Maybe you spent time addressing those unauthorized charges. Did you have any fees to hire someone to correct your credit report because of the data breach? Maybe you got a higher interest rate on your account because of that breach. Did you lose access or have restricted access to your funds during that data breach? And finally, were there any costs to replace your driver's license, social security number, or phone number? If you encountered one of these problems but can't prove it, you can still file what's called a self-certification claim. If approved, you'll receive an equal split of the settlement. How much depends on how many claims are filed.
If you think you are a victim of the data breach, there's a list of the requirements that he just listed off. They're on our website. Head to valleynewslive.com and then click on this story. Well, there was an open house tonight for a new Hawley police station. The station also took time to bid farewell as well to their chief, Jimmy Macon. Macon recently stepped down from his position in early March. He became the leader of the Hawley Police Department in the fall of 2013. Macon tells us he is moving down to the southern part of the United States to be closer to his family.
Knowing that I came to a town that welcomed me with open arms and stuff, and I got to develop some great friendships here. My kids, when I say my kids, I watch over them every day in the school zone in the afternoon and in the morning time. I'm going to miss that.
Now, Macon's last day is on Tuesday. Rodeos, they are nearly as old as our country, dating back to the 1700s. And this weekend, you'll have the chance to experience the challenge, the skill, strength, and power pitting man against animal at the rodeo. Crews were busy today putting the final touches on the pens at the arena at the Fargo Dome for the PRCA National Finals. PRCA stands for Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, and this is a major event. There will be a lot of pros for the event in Fargo. More than 200 are expected from across the country. Their aim is to qualify for the national finals coming up in Las Vegas in December, and it takes longer to prepare for the rodeo than people realize.
Week of the event, getting ready, the dirt goes in, and there's a lot of setup as far as the chutes and panels and just the final details. It all takes a lot of man hours.
The rodeo starts at 7:30 Friday and Saturday nights, with the doors opening at 6. Ticket prices range from $8.50 to $35. Starting tomorrow, 3rd Avenue North will be closed between 2nd and 3rd Streets North in Fargo. The closure is part of a pump station construction project under the Fargo-Moorhead area diversion project. The road's expected to be reopened Saturday. To get a full list of road closures, head to valleynewslive.com and click on the hot button.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait weather.
Well, pretty quiet weather this evening. The showers that we had in some areas starting out with an inch or two of snow on the ground this morning. Yeah. And tomorrow, the first day of spring, that begins at about 5:45 tomorrow afternoon. Mark your clocks, get out and enjoy it at 5:45, and then things change. Back towards winter. Yeah, a little battle going on in the atmosphere. Here is a look, though, at the day we enjoyed. Now, as we head toward the vernal equinox, which takes place tomorrow at 5:45, that is the time when the direct rays of the sun are directly over the equator. It's also one of the only times during the year, the other time on the other equinox, when the sun sets exactly in the western sky and rises exactly in the eastern sky. So as we watch our time lapse tonight, clouds moving through, a few showers falling out of them, watch the sun set. Whoop, right over here, comes down and it sets, well, pretty close to exactly west. That happens tomorrow night, by the way, but take a look at that. A gorgeous sky. Those clouds cleared out and we enjoyed some beautiful colors out to the west tonight. Currently, our temperatures are cooling off, mid-30s for Fargo-Moorhead. Wind from the west, only 12 miles per hour. It's quiet across the region. We already have 20s out in the Cheyenne River Valley of Valley City, where it's 28 degrees, 34 Fergus Falls, Bemidji at 35 degrees. Here is a look across the region. We do have that cool pool of air just off to the west and south of the Fargo area. That stretches all the way through central portions of South Dakota. And the radar shows quiet conditions for us now, but we have a system right here just beginning to form. Folks, this is an Alberta Clipper style system that is getting ready to make its way into the valley. And it happens on the first day of spring. That's going to bring a chance of some morning flakes of snow as temperatures fall into the low 30s. Clouds will build in for everybody. By daybreak tomorrow, you're heading to work, and we could have some bands of moderate to heavy snow taking place along and primarily north of Highway 2. And they're going to move from the Devil's Lake Basin at about 7 in the morning right through the northern Red River Valley and all the way out towards Bemidji and Baudette by the time we get to midday. So one thing about these Alberta Clippers, they're fast movers. They usually don't bring a lot of snow as they dance on through. The morning half of the day, though, could be white with some slippery or at least slushy roads. Temperatures up north in the 20s, and we'll be in the 60s in our far southern counties as we head into the early afternoon. Fargo right on the boundary. Our temperatures are going to peak in the mid-50s to near 60 before the afternoon brings the gusty north winds and the cold front slides through. An Alberta Clipper clips everyone. By the evening, we'll see clearing skies, but the wind remains from the north. It'll be cold, and we'll have between 1 and 2 inches of snow along and north of Highway 2. The planner overnight, temperatures fairly steady in the mid-30s for most of the evening. Then as we head into the morning hours tomorrow, the thermometer starts rising quickly. I think we're going to better the 44s you see here, and we're going to make it all the way up into the mid-50s in Fargo before this north wind really takes hold and really brings us a chance for that cold air slap in the face. 50 in Wahpeton at 5 o'clock, but temperatures along the northern tier cooling along Interstate 94 into the 40s by 5 o'clock. So big changes going on. Tomorrow afternoon, changes taking place as well in Lakes Country with mostly 40s to near 50 degrees in the far south. Here's where the cold air will be at 5 o'clock on your Friday night, and there will be flakes in our far eastern counties. And the snow will still be on the ground, but it should be finished snowing by 5 o'clock in northeast North Dakota. But chilly indeed. We'll have a very cold start to our Saturday, 35 degrees. Take a gander at Sunday, and it looks like 42. Next week, we're keeping our eyeballs peeled on a system that really begins moving through on Tuesday with rain changing to snow by the evening. By Wednesday morning, could be one of the bigger snow systems we've seen in Fargo the entire winter. Wow. If it transpires the way some of the models are advertising right now. At any rate, we'll keep our eyes on it for you. You stay tuned to us, and we'll keep you updated.
A winter storm in spring.
It happens. Yes,
does.
I still have a little gas in my snowblower, so maybe we'll get a burn the rest of that out of there.
Right. If that's what we need to do. All right. Thanks, Hutch. Yeah. Still ahead for us tonight, Honda has another recall in its hands. What you need to know. But first, do cooking shows have you weighing more? We'll take a look next.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know.